In a moment of crisis, our instincts take over. We see a problem, and we rush to fix it. But what if those instincts, the gut reactions we trust to guide us, are dangerously wrong? What if the very actions we take to help are making a bad situation catastrophic? Today, we are counting down 8 common medical emergencies where your first instinct could be the worst possible choice. We'll explore the hidden science behind why these common mistakes are so harmful and reveal the correct procedures that could save a life or prevent a lifetime of damage. This isn't just about first aid. It's about unlearning the myths that put us all at risk. Number 8. The tick twist terror. You're walking through the woods and later find a tiny 8-legged passenger has latched onto your skin. Your immediate instinct might be to grab that little bloodsucker and twist it, like you're opening a stubborn bottle cap. But this is precisely how you escalate a simple tick bite into a biological horror show. When you twist, the tick's complex mouthparts, which are barbed like microscopic fishhooks, are designed to hold on tight. The twisting motion creates a shearing force that snaps the head and mouthparts from the body, leaving them embedded deep within your skin. Now, you're left with foreign body fragments that your immune system will attack, creating a focal point for infection and inflammation, like the world's worst splinter. But it gets far worse. When a tick is stressed, squeezed, or twisted, it can regurgitate its stomach contents directly into your bloodstream. Think about that for a moment. A payload of potentially pathogen-rich fluid injected straight into your body. This is a primary vector for the transmission of serious illnesses. Some people, in a moment of panic, even try to burn the tick off with a hot match or a lighter. This only intensifies the tick's panic response, causing it to regurgitate even more of its contents into you. It's the strategic equivalent of trying to get rid of an unwanted house guest by setting your living room on fire. It's overkill that causes immense collateral damage. The correct method is one of patience and precision. Arm yourself with a pair of fine-tipped tweezers. Approach the tick and grasp it firmly as close to the surface of your skin as possible. You want to grab its head, not its body. Then, with steady, even pressure, pull straight upward, away from the skin. There should be no twisting, no jerking, no sudden movements. Think of it as removing a delicate sliver of glass, not uncorking a bottle of champagne. Once the tick is out, dispose of it and thoroughly clean the bite area with soap and water or an antiseptic. Remember, when it comes to tick removal, slow and steady wins the race and keeps you safe. Number 7. The cold chill catastrophe. Imagine finding someone lost in the cold, their body shivering, their words slurred. This is hypothermia, a condition where the body's core temperature has dropped to a dangerous low. Their heart is struggling, beating to a fragile, erratic rhythm, like an engine trying to run on frozen fuel. Your instinct is to provide heat and fast. You might be tempted to use hot water bottles or electric blankets on their arms and legs. But suddenly blasting that cold body with intense heat, especially on the extremities first, can be a fatal mistake. Here's what happens inside the body. The blood in their cold arms and legs is stagnant and deoxygenated. When you rapidly warm these limbs, the blood vessels dilate, and this cold, acidic blood rushes back to the body's core. This tidal wave of icy fluid hits the heart, which is already in a vulnerable, irritable state. This phenomenon, known as afterdrop, can trigger a catastrophic cardiac event. Think of it like pouring ice-cold water into a superheated glass. The sudden temperature shock can cause it to shatter. The same principle applies to the human heart. The right way to help someone with hypothermia is to warm them gradually, starting from the core. Focus on the chest, neck, head, and groin areas. Use warm, dry blankets, layers of clothing, or even your own body heat. Warm, not hot, is the key. The goal is to let the body's temperature rise slowly and safely, like defrosting a turkey in the fridge, not blasting it in a microwave. Medical professionals are extremely careful with this process, as even in a hospital setting, rapid rewarming can have devastating consequences. If you are ever in this situation, the best course of action is to keep the person dry, wrap them in blankets, insulate them from the cold ground, and call for emergency services immediately. Sometimes, doing less is actually doing more. Number 6. The danger of direct ice. You've twisted your ankle or pulled a muscle, and the first thing you reach for is an ice pack. But placing that ice directly onto your bare skin can cause a unique and painful injury. When the intense cold of the ice makes contact with your skin, something damaging happens at a cellular level. Microscopic ice crystals begin to form inside your skin cells, literally shredding them from the inside out. It's like having thousands of tiny sharp knives tearing through your delicate tissues. This is what's known as an ice burn or frostbite. In response to this extreme cold, the blood vessels just beneath your skin constrict violently. They squeeze shut in a desperate attempt to conserve heat, which severely restricts blood flow to the area. This is the exact opposite of what you want for healing, as blood brings the oxygen and nutrients necessary for repair. The affected area will first turn bright red, then a pale white, and in severe cases, a waxy, grayish color. This isn't just about ice packs. Any object at a freezing temperature can cause this damage. Grabbing a frozen metal pole with a bare hand can cause an instant, severe ice burn. The damage can range from a minor irritation that heals in a few days to permanent tissue and nerve damage. Preventing this is incredibly simple. Always create a barrier. Wrap the ice pack in a thin towel or a t-shirt before applying it to your skin. Follow the rule of 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, to allow blood flow to return to the area. If your skin begins to burn, sting, or feel intensely numb, that is your body's signal to remove the ice immediately. Number 5. The sunburn sabotage. You've spent a perfect day at the beach, only to come home looking like a lobster in training. Your skin is radiating heat, and it feels tight and painful. Your first instinct might be to reach into the medicine cabinet for that familiar jar of petroleum jelly or another thick oil-based lotion. But slathering this on your sunburn is one of the worst things you can do. When you get a sunburn, your skin is quite literally cooking from the inside out, filled with trapped thermal energy. It desperately needs to release this heat to begin the healing process. Applying a thick, occlusive product like petroleum jelly creates an airtight and watertight seal over your skin. It's like putting a heavy lid on a boiling pot. All that heat gets trapped underneath, unable to escape. Your pores get clogged, sweat can't evaporate to cool the skin, and your dermis just continues to cook. This can turn a first-degree burn into a more severe, blistering second-degree burn, all because of a well-intentioned but misguided attempt at relief. Instead of oil-based products, you should reach for something that is water-based, ideally containing aloe vera. These lighter gels and lotions allow the skin to breathe and help radiate heat away. For an extra dose of relief, keep your aloe vera gel in the refrigerator. The cool gel provides immediate comfort and helps to reduce inflammation. So next time you're glowing red, remember to let your skin breathe. No heavy ointments. Number 4, the spinal gamble. Picture this. A friend takes a hard fall during a skateboarding session or a bike ride. They're lying on the ground, in pain. Your instinct is to help them up, move them to a more comfortable position, or get them into a car to go to the hospital. But this single, well-meaning act can have irreversible, tragic consequences. The human spine is an incredible structure, like a delicate stack of intricate building blocks. And running through the center of that stack is the most important cable in your body, the spinal cord. It is the master communication highway that controls everything from your ability to walk to your ability to breathe. After a significant impact, those building blocks might be fractured or unstable, barely holding their position. One wrong move, a twist, a lift, a bend, can cause them to shift, pinching, severing, or crushing that vital cord. A man once tried to help his friend after a fall by lifting him up to get him comfortable. That one move caused partial paralysis. The initial injury from the fall was minor, but the movement afterward caused permanent nerve damage. Think of the spinal cord as a full cup of water you have to carry across a room. Any jostle, any sudden movement can cause a spill, and in this case, a spill means permanent damage. Unless the person is in immediate, life-threatening danger, such as from a fire or oncoming traffic, the rule is simple: do not move them. Keep them as still as possible, stabilize their head and neck, talk to them to keep them calm, and wait for trained medical professionals to arrive. Those few minutes of waiting might feel like an eternity, but they are nothing compared to a lifetime of paralysis. Number 3. The finger sweep folly. Someone at your dinner table starts coughing violently, their face turning red. They're choking. Your immediate, panicked instinct might be to stick your fingers into their mouth, trying to sweep out whatever is blocking their airway. But this blind finger sweep could turn a partial obstruction into a complete one. If you cannot clearly see the object, you are essentially playing a dangerous game of pinball in their throat. Your poking and prodding could easily push the object deeper, lodging it more firmly in their windpipe. It's like trying to unclog a drain by jamming the blockage even further down the pipe. The situation is already tense. The choking person is panicking, and so are you. Randomly fishing around in someone's throat is not a winning strategy. That single push from your finger could turn a situation where they can still cough and move some air into one where their airway is completely sealed. Now, instead of some air getting through, you have zero. The first thing to do is assess. If the person is coughing forcefully, encourage them to keep coughing. A strong cough is the body's most effective built-in emergency response. If they cannot cough, speak, or breathe, that is when you must intervene with proven methods like back blows and abdominal thrusts. If you can physically see the obstruction and it is easily graspable, then you may carefully attempt to remove it. But if it's out of sight, do not go searching for it. The dramatic movie scene of a hero reaching into someone's mouth to save the day is pure fiction. In real life, that move could make you the accidental villain of the story. Number 2. The DIY joint fix fright. You're playing a game of pickup basketball. You lunge for the ball, and suddenly you feel a sickening pop. Your shoulder is now sitting at a very unnatural angle. It's dislocated. A friend rushes over and says, "I saw this in a movie. I can pop it back in." This is the moment you say no. Allowing an untrained person to fix a dislocated joint is like letting an amateur electrician rewire your house. They might know the general idea, but the lack of precise knowledge can lead to a disaster. Joints are not simple ball and socket toys. They are complex intersections of bone, muscle, ligaments, nerves, and blood vessels. A single misstep, a wrong angle, or too much force could tear ligaments or cause permanent nerve damage. Major blood vessels run through and around these joints. If you try to force that joint back into place, you could pinch, crush, or even tear one of those vessels, leading to internal bleeding and a much more serious medical emergency. The muscles surrounding the dislocated joint are already spasming and swollen. Trying to force the bone through that wall of angry, inflamed tissue is like trying to push a watermelon through a donut hole. You're only going to cause more tearing and damage. The correct course of action is to immobilize the joint as best you can. Keep it still, apply ice to reduce swelling, and get to an emergency room. Professionals use X-rays to see exactly how the joint is displaced before they attempt to reposition it. A few hours at the hospital is a small price to pay to avoid a lifetime of a painful, unstable joint. Number 1. The eye scratch fever. You're enjoying a walk on a windy day when a tiny piece of dust or debris flies directly into your eye. It's irritating, and your overwhelming instinct is to rub it. You press your knuckles into your eye and rub vigorously as if trying to start a fire. This is precisely how you turn a minor annoyance into a serious injury. When you rub an eye that has a foreign object in it, you are turning that small speck of debris into sandpaper. With every rub, you are dragging that particle across the surface of your cornea, the delicate, clear window that covers your iris and pupil. It's like taking a grain of sand and grinding it into a high-end camera lens, creating microscopic scratches and abrasions. This rubbing can also push the object deeper into the eye tissue, making it much more difficult to remove. Now, not only is your cornea scratched, but you have an open wound on the surface of your eye, which is a red carpet invitation for bacteria to invade and cause a nasty infection. So, what should you do instead? First, resist the urge to rub. Let your natural defense system, your tears, do their job. They are designed to flush out small irritants. If blinking and tearing don't work, try gently rinsing the eye with clean, lukewarm water or a sterile saline solution. Tilt your head to the side and let the water flow from the inner corner of your eye to the outer corner. Think of it like washing a delicate dish. You let the flow of water do the work. You don't scrub it with steel wool. If the irritation persists after rinsing, it's time to see a doctor. Protecting your vision is worth the extra caution. From a tiny tick to a major fall, our instincts are not always our allies. The next time you're faced with an emergency, take a brief moment to pause. Remember that true preparedness comes from knowledge, not just a panicked reaction. Understanding the right way to help can make all the difference. If you found this guide valuable, subscribe for more deep dives into the science of everyday survival.